Have you ever made a rookie mistake that almost cost you big time? I'm not talking little, I'm talking big time. Let me tell you about the time I turned a 6K mistake into $19,000 of profit. Now, that's nothing crazy that I did. I just got lucky. I was a brand new investor, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how not to make this happen in your journey, okay? So if you're tuning in and you're wondering, why the heck should I listen to this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this guy that's saying all this? My name is Nathan Payne. I've been investing for several years now, and I've done over $2 million in assignments. And this is the reason why you should listen to this episode or this video. I want you to avoid the rookie mistake that I made, the rookie sales mistake that I did, which I would have made an extra 6,000, but it's all good. You guys are going to hear about it. I want to show you guys how to learn how to find cash buyers using Batch Leads. Batch Leads is a great platform that I use in my own business to find cash buyers. And I want to show you guys how to do it also in this video because it applies to the story. And I want to show you guys how you can leverage cash buyers to make offers for you, so you don't get in the situation where I did, where we just threw out a number because we just felt good about it. We're like, not even felt good about it. We just did it. We just like you'll hear in the story. Okay. So that's who I am. That's why you should listen. So what I want to do right now is dive right into the story. If you guys can, before I dive into the story, if you can like this video, because with the algorithm, the way it is, if you like it, they say, hey, this is good stuff. Let's get in front of more people. And if you comment, then it's like really good. If you just say, hey, this is where I'm watching from, Nate, what's going on? I appreciate you. Whatever you want to say. Or you could say, hey, your story stink. Doesn't matter. If you comment, it's great. If you like it, it's great. Let's get into the story. I appreciate you if you do either one. So let's talk about the story. How did I almost go from a $6,000 mistake to making $19,000? Let's talk about the deal. So when I was a brand new real estate investor, one of my strategies that I used was flyering neighborhoods. I would take a let me show you. I would take a little sticky note like this, and I would write on it, and I would say, hey, I actually have the exact template that I use, so I'm not going to go over and tell you exactly what I say, but I'd write on it, and then I'd photocopy this multiple times, and it looked like handwritten letters, right? And then you stick them on the door. So we did this in an area in Salt Lake City, Utah, where we were looking for deals. I got a call from the flyer. I got a call from the lady. I was super stoked. It was on Saturday when I wasn't working. The lady called and said, hey, I got your flyer. I want to sell my house. So the next step was I went and saw the house. Again, brand new real estate investor, nervous, didn't really know what I was doing or what was going on, right? I just knew I needed to go see the house. And but I did some pretty cool tactics that I think are still applicable and like you should use. I went and saw the house, and I was walking around. I wasn't buying the house. I was wholesaling, right? So I was just like, oh, that looks like a nice fridge. That looks like it needs some work, blah, blah, blah. You guys, if you've seen a house and you don't know if you're new, you're just like walking around trying to act like you know what you're doing when you go through a walkthrough of someone's house. So I saw the house, and I talked to the lady, and I said, hey, I know you're potentially probably talking to some other people that are going to buy the house. Is there anyone else looking to make an offer on this house other than us? And she said, yeah, they have two other people that are coming after you. You came first. Because she was starting to ask me what my offer was. And I said, hey, before I make my offer, I'd like to, see if it was okay. I'd like to make the last offer because I'm the first one here. I don't want to give my offer and have everyone else like beat me up and just take my offer and, beat it. She's like, yeah, you can make the last offer. So I was like, okay, so two more people were going to go to the house. Said, okay, I get to make the last offer. That's good. Maybe I can just beat their offers. Okay. That was my plan. See what they offered and then beat it. All right. So saw the house, and she's like, okay, after they see the house, we'll call you. So later in the day happened, like, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we get a call, and she says, hey, everyone else came and saw the house. Do you want to come over to my other? So this was a house that she inherited. So she was like, do you want to come over to my house and talk about your offer? I was excited, but nervous. I said, yeah, sure. Let's do it. So me and my business partner, Corey, drive to her house. She's an older lady. Her name's Dawn, and she has, her husband there. Take off our shoes, walk in, and we sit on the couch, and the couches are facing each other. So they're over there, her and Dawn, older couple. And Dawn and her husband, and me and Corey are on the other side. So we get to talking, and I ask, hey, so what were the other offers? If you don't mind me asking, what were the other offers that came through? This is what she said. She said, They didn't show up. You're the only ones. You're the only ones that even showed up. So what's your offer? I'm sweating bullets now. Oh my gosh, my strategy was just to beat the other offers. Now I wasn't really prepared knowing what to offer at all. I wasn't sure. She said, "What's your offer?" So I said, just to make sure, just curious, what are you wanting for the property? They said 180,000. They said, we want 180,000. Now, I wasn't good at negotiating this point, guys. I didn't know what to do. So I look over at my business partner, Corey, who had more experience than I did, but that doesn't mean much. I look at him, I say, what should we offer, Corey? And he says, he's sweating. He's nervous. Guys, again, if you're brand new at wholesaling, you know what I'm talking about. You want a deal so bad you can taste it, and you're just trying to get it done. You don't want to say something wrong, like go too low, go too high, and get the deal wrong. But they say, I want 180. He turns and looks at me and looks at them and says, we can do 186. And I'm looking at him like, 186? I didn't say this, but I'm like, this dude just offered $6,000 more than what they said they wanted for the property. So Dawn, and she looks at her husband, and they're like, sure, yeah, we'll take 186. We'll take $6K more than we told you we wanted. Now, at that time, I'm like, Corey, what in the world were you thinking in my head? But I threw it on him. I expected him to take it. He just ran with what he had. It's all good. It's in the past. Such a rookie mistake. That was a $6,000 rookie mistake. We went $6,000 higher. And the reason why that's a mistake is potentially we're going to be able to find a buyer. He went higher than what they said. We didn't know what buyers were going to pay because back then we just locked up deals and then tried to sell them. Not what I recommend you do, but that's what a lot of people still do. They just get the deal and they hope they can find a buyer. So we blew the negotiation at that point, went 6K higher. Now I'm going to give you guys some tips on what to do if this happens. If a seller tells you what they want and then they throw it on you and you don't have an offer to beat, what the heck do you do? Okay. So that's where we're at in the story. Now I'm going to give you some tips from the story. Just to wrap up the story, we were able to find a buyer, and I'm going to show you guys how to find buyers using Batch Leads. We were able to find a buyer who's willing to pay $205,000. We made $19,000 on the deal. So we turned this $6,000 mistake into a $19,000 wholesale fee. You can see that you can still make money in this business, even if you're a terrible negotiator like I was. This was years ago, guys, but I'm letting you know, if you feel like I did, if you're nervous or you're not sure what to offer, I was there. I know how it feels. You're nervous in the moment, okay? Sometimes you blow it. But luckily, we turned that $6,000 mistake into a deal. So what are some tips from this story, everybody? So let them tell you the price. Now, that did happen in this story, okay? So this is good. That's one thing I did good. They told me 180. That doesn't happen all the time. But what happens if a seller tells you 180? And I'm going to let you know what to do here. So a seller says, I want 180. Obviously, if you give them 186, they're going to say yes because you went 6K higher. Rookie mistake. Now, rookie mistake in the sense you just overpaid what they were willing to do. Now, what would happen if we would have said, okay, we'll do 180? There's two scenarios. They say, okay, right? They're like, okay, let's just do it. Or they say, 180? You're pretty quick to say 180. Balloons, that's nice. You're quick to say 180. Maybe we can get more than that. That's what they think. They think maybe they left money on the table. That's why if a seller tells you what they want and you immediately like, yeah, I can do that. You have to be careful because if you go too quick to giving them what they want, they're going to think they can get more. Okay. So what do you do? Even if a seller wants a reasonable price, you have to make them feel like they won, right? So if you give them exactly what they want, they're going to sometimes feel like they didn't win. So this is what I would have done if I would have went back. I would have been like, you know what, 180. I know that sounds fair, but for us, we were thinking we'd need to be more around like the 172, 173 range. How do you feel about that? Right? Or could you see yourself between that range or something like that where you're lower? And then you have that song and dance where then they're like, well, can you do 175? And then you're like, okay, let's split the difference or whatever, right? But if you go lower and then you go up, where you are okay to settle at 180, they feel like they won because you went up. Or maybe they thought 160 was what they really wanted. They anchored high and you just, you went 173 and they're okay with that. They're like, okay, right? So It's a game. Okay. It's a game. And if you give someone immediately what they want, sometimes they're not going to feel like they won. Okay. So that's what I mean. I've had this happen. I did like an $80,000 deal. I think it was like $89,000 deal in Florida. The guy, he's just like, I want 120 or something like that. He wanted like a specific number. And I came in, I said, we would probably need to be around like 112, 114 between that range. Would that work for you? And then he was like, could you do this? And then we went back and forth and we agreed on the price. It was already a great deal. He was already wanting to be there. But again, I've learned that you have to go a little bit lower in order and negotiate for them to feel good about it. Right. Because again, give them exactly what they want. They might feel like they didn't win. I've said that. I've beat that dead horse, but that's what I mean. Another thing I want to let you guys know is don't be nervous. You got this, okay? Even if you blow it, it's okay. It's a learning experience. You're learning from what I'm telling you. I was just so nervous that we were just doing whatever we could to get a deal at that time. So if you're in that point of that part of your journey where you're like you could taste the deal you wanted that bad, you got to slow down. You're going to get a deal if you stay consistent. Just don't be nervous. I've been there. All right. And by the way, everybody that's watching this, again, if you could just give me a like and leave a comment, let me know where you're watching from. It helps the algorithm to get this in front of more people. All right, guys. So those are some of the tips that we learned from the story. So how do you find buyers for a deal like this? I'm going to give you guys a quick demo on Batch Leads. Batch Leads is absolutely free to skip trace for a 7-day free trial. DM me and I'll send you the link so you can skip trace for free. And then after that, they have free skip tracing within their plans. Super dope. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on just skip tracing alone. So the fact that it's free now, it's incredible. Okay. So go check that out. DM me if you want the link. But let's do a demo on Batch and how to find buyers. Now, I did not have Batch at this time. I wish I did. I found this buyer through like a lot of painstaking hard work, like having to talk to a ton of people, like through networking. But this is how I would do it now. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick demo on Batch Leads. It's going to be fast because you can find buyers fast using this technique. Okay, so right here, if you guys man, it's super it's kind of hard to see because it's kind of okay. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. I'm going to show you on my computer because right now it's you guys will get the gist. Okay, so right here is where you put the I was going to say you'll get the gist, but you really can't see that thing at all. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, here it is. So on Batch Leads, right here, you can type in an address of where you want to put something. Now you can see it better. Okay, so we're going to zoom out because that address I put in there is like super small town. And if you have a small town, you need to do an ovation. That's normally what you need to do. Okay, so you have a property in Provo, Utah. Okay, so what you do is you go to the part where you can draw a border around where your deal is. So let's say my deal is right in the center of Provo, Utah. Okay. You draw a box around it. Pretty dang simple, right? You just put a box around it and then it calculates. And this is my vibe board, right? So it's maybe a little slower than usual on like the internet and everything. But what happens here is it will calculate basically all the information within that area that you put that drawing and that box around. And then it will come up with quick filters and it will tell you like, hey, you want pre-foreclosures in this area? Do you want tired landlords? And there is a quick filter for cash buyers. It's pretty cool. And then you can filter it for cash buyers that have properties on the MLS. And then what that means is these are cash buyers that purchased a property that are trying to sell it on the MLS, which means if they bought it for cash and they're trying to list it, they must have flipped it. That's kind of the logic behind it. So once it populates, I wish it was populating faster. I don't know what's going on. I think my vibe board's trash on the internet reception. So let me see if I can do this in a smaller area. Maybe it will do it better. Okay, let's do that. Maybe that'll work better. I can show you on my computer, but it's whatever. We'll make it work. Piece of trash. Vibe board. Okay, let's try that one. Okay, this might work better actually. Okay. Let's see. See if it populates. It's going to refresh that. Okay, so hopefully it speeds up. All right, there we go. There it is. Oakland. This is another deal where I'm looking for a cash buyer. Populating that data. By the way, while this is loading, give me a shout out. Love to hear from you, where you're watching from. Okay, see, all that data is populated right there, guys. It was. You know what? Next time I just got to be prepared to show you on my computer screen. The Vibe board's cool to draw on, not the best for demos. Okay, there it is. So I moved it. So it's thinking again. There you go. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Okay, there it is. We got it. Finally, it's locked in. So at the very top here, guys, you can see the different options. So if you go to give me cash buyers, you just got to scroll. So there's quite a few cash buyers in this area. So you click on cash buyer and then you go to on market and you want to see which cash buyers are on market out of the 1,228 that I marked in that area. There's 68. And right here, you can see that a lot of them are active or pending. So that means that these are flippers. And what you would do is you would click in here on this $2 million property, and you would call the real estate agent that is representing the cash buyer. The information for the MLS and the agent is right here. Gives them your phone number. You could call them and say, hey, I noticed that your flipper, you represent a flipper, or maybe you might be the flipper, but I'm wondering if he would be looking for any more properties to flip. I have one right around the corner. Or you call right here, you skip trace. Since you can skip trace for free, you can skip trace. His name is Ravi Gopropariskian. Okay, I couldn't pronounce it very well, but that's who you could call. You just call people that are around the area and ask them if they're still buying. It's as simple as that. And Batchley's gives you the data on how to do this. Okay. So we're going to go back. That is, in a nutshell, is a quick demo of how to use batch leads. I'm sorry it took me a little bit of time, guys. It shouldn't have taken that long. Embarrassing. I'm sorry. Okay. So that's the story, guys. I blew the negotiation, but I basically was able to find a cash buyer where I was still able to make 19K on it. But don't fall into that same mistake that I did by blowing it and offering the seller $6,000 more than they asked. Rookie mistake. Comment and let me know if you've made any rookie mistakes where you've blown a deal, or if you made a mistake but you still got a deal. Okay. So guys, right here, I'm going to wrap it up. I love you all, but it's time to wrap up. Join my free Facebook group for free training for more stuff like this, where we're going to teach you guys how to do deals step by step. My Facebook group is called Painless Flipping, Wholesaling Real Estate Simplified. If you're already in the group, I appreciate you being in there if you're seeing this. And if you're not, you're able to get, not only am I going to be able to give you my link so you could skip trace for free using Batch more easily because you can just DM me. You're going to get that. You're also going to get a 90-day action plan so you can take action and do deals. Like if you have no idea what to do and you're like stuck and you're like, man, I don't know what actions to take every day. There's a free 90-day action plan within there in the guide section, and there's a free course. Now, people want to work with me. I have an apprenticeship where I only work with a certain amount of people because I work one-on-one, so I'm not able to take a ton of people. If you're interested in that, go to painlessflipping.com. But I try to give away as much free information as I can so you guys can go take action and do deals. And then eventually we can work together in my apprenticeship, or maybe we can do some deals together. I do deals in Utah. I live in Canada right now. If you, I'm not really doing deals in Canada, but I know a lot of cash buyers here. So if you have a flip, maybe hit me up and I'll see if I can help you wholesale it. They do wholesaling in Canada for sure, everybody. So hope this has been helpful. join my free Facebook group. If you don't have batch leads, hit me up. And does anybody have any questions? I'm going to take a look at the comments now because, you know, I checked those out and appreciate you guys watching. So I want to answer your questions. Let me look at the comments that have come through. Let me take a look. I'm a little, okay, here it is. We got one. We got Marianne LaFlame. Hey, what's up, Marianne? I think that's how I pronounce your name. Forgive me if I messed it up. She's from Naples, Florida. What's up? And she says 2 million. Yes, she must have been looking at one of the deals that I was pulling up. Potentially, who knows? Marianne, I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see if we got any other questions coming in. We got a guy saying legend. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, brother. I appreciate you thinking I'm a legend. I'm trying my best. All right. Well, everybody, again, I hope this was helpful. It really helps me out if you can just like this video and leave a comment, because then the algorithm says, hey, this wasn't too bad. That story wasn't too bad. Even if you guys think the story was bad, I'd love to hear some feedback. Hey, you're a terrible storyteller. Hey, you're a great storyteller. Hey, I've been there. I've blown deals. Feedback. I love to hear it. So have a great day, everybody. This has been today's live about how I blew. Let's go to the very top. Ever made a rookie mistake that almost cost you big? You know what? Actually, what I'm going to do, because a lot of people are popping in at this very moment, I'm going to do a quick recap. It's going to be a recap on what we just went over in 2 minutes. So if you just popped in, you're like, what the heck has this guy been talking about this whole time? Let's dive right in. Okay. So have you ever made a mistake that almost cost you big time in real estate? Let me tell you about how I turned a 6K mistake into 19K profit. All right, let's dive right into it. And if you're watching this, if you just popped in, you're like, why should I listen to this guy? My name's Nathan Payne. I've done over $2 million of wholesaling fees and assignments. And this is why you should listen to what I'm about to say right now. Avoid this rookie mistake, this sales mistake that cost me 6K when I didn't need to pay that extra 6K, or I could have made an extra 6K. Learn how to find cash buyers on batch leads, and learn how to leverage cash buyers to make offers for you. Let's dive right in. So the story, it's a pretty simple story. I was handing out flyers in a neighborhood. I got a call from a flyer, and a seller said, hey, I want to sell my house. I went to see the house, walked around. I was brand new. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was acting like I knew what I was doing. And at the end of seeing the house, I said, hey, is there anyone else that's seeing this house, or is it just me? She said, there's 2 other people coming after you. I said, hey, before I give you my offer, do you mind if I give it to you after those 2 people come? I don't want to lose out because I came first and gave my offer. She said, that's fine. She gives me a call later that day, says, hey, come over. You were at my dad's house that I inherited. Come over to my house and let's talk about your offer. I drive over there with Corey, super nervous. We're worried. We're like, oh my gosh, are we going to get this deal? Are we going to lose it to those other people? We get there. We sit in front of the lady and her husband on her couch. And she's like, how's it going? I'm like, I'm doing good. How did those other walkthroughs go with those other buyers? She said, they never showed up. I said, what? Really? And I was like, well, that's too bad. And the reason why I was feeling like that is because my goal was just to get their offers and beat it. That was it. That was my strategy back in the day. But they didn't make offers. So I was like, well, what do I do now? And she's like, and we just continued. And she's like, well, what's your offer? And I'm like, what do you want for it? And she's like, 180. And I'm like, do I offer 180? Like, what do I do? I don't want to lose this deal. So I turn to my business partner, and he's probably not even paying attention at that moment because I'm doing all the talking. I said, what did we offer, man? And he's like, 186. So he offers $6,000 more than what they want. The sellers look at each other and they're like, sounds good. We'll take 186. We signed the paperwork. I'm in my mind, I'm like, what the heck did you do, dude? You offered 6K more. In my mind, I'm saying that. Later, I actually said to him, and he's like, dude, I panicked. I just said the offer that I thought they would accept. We got the deal. We got it under contract. Now, did we need to offer 6K more to get the deal? Probably not. But we ended up finding a buyer for it and made $19,000 on it. Found a buyer for 205. Now, what are some of the tips from this story? Let the seller tell you their price. Now, they did that. Now, if there's not another offer for you to beat, remember this. Never give them exactly what they're asking for right off the bat, because if you give them exactly what they want, they're going to think maybe they can get more. So let's talk about this scenario. I want $180,000 for my house. What would you offer? Oh, I can do 180. Immediately they're going to think, maybe I should have gone a little bit higher. That's what they're going to think. So in this scenario, I should have said, hey, you want 180? I totally get that. I think I can be more around, I would feel more comfortable around 172. Would that work for you? And then it's that song and dance, and then you can negotiate. And even if you get back to 180, at least they feel like they won, which is fine, which is good. You want them to feel like they wins, because if you don't, then they're going to just be like, well, let me talk to my neighbors. Let me talk to some other people. Let me get some more offers. Anyway, last lesson I want you guys to learn is the tips from the story. Don't be nervous. You're going to be fine. I was so nervous. I wanted a deal so bad when I first started. Don't be nervous. You got this. You can do this. Just stay consistent and you'll get deals. Don't have that commission breath. Don't be like, I need this deal, because they're going to be like, you okay, son? I'm going to go with someone else. So don't be nervous. Anchor lower than what they say and let them tell you the price that they'll let you. Now, guys, how did I find buyers for this deal? On this specific deal, I had to network to find a buyer. I didn't have batch leads at this time, but I'm going to show you super quick how to find batch leads. How to find a buyer on batch leads. Super easy. I wish I had this technology and I wish I had this understanding back in the day. I'm going to show you super fast. So all you have to do is you got to go to the area where you have a property. You have to mark like a box around the area you want. Like you can do it within the software and just section off like with the area that you're looking for. It gives you up here, it gives you different filters. And one of the filters is cash buyers. You click on cash buyer. And then right here at the top, it says on market or off market or all. You go on market because you're saying, I want someone that bought a property for cash that's trying to sell it on the market right now. And what it does is it shows you all the people that have flipped, because it's saying, hey, they bought a house for cash and they're flipping it and they're selling it with an agent on market. And then all you do is you go, these are pending in yellow. That means they're under contract. And then active means no one's bought them yet or they're not under contract. You click on one of them. And from that point, all you do is you call the real estate agent that's representing the buyer and you say, hey, does he want another flip? Or if it is the agent, then you say, I got one right across the street from you. That's how I found you. Do you want another house to flip? Or you can skip trace for free with Batch. Bam. You can skip trace the person, the buyer, and with my free link, you can do skip trace for free. So those are the ways that you can find a buyer super fast using Batch leads. Okay, back to what we were talking about. That was a quick demo of batch leads. Again, I'm doing this for people that just popped in as fast as I can because I know your time is valuable. Join my free Facebook group for free training. I do training every week for free. On Thursday, we have a weekly live training where we give you a free bonus for attending that will help you in your journey. Painless flipping, wholesaling real estate simplified. Check it out. Hope this was helpful. It would really help me out if you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell icon wherever you're watching this. Comment, especially tell me where you're watching from. Let's network. Let's see if we can do some deals together. Appreciate it. I got a question right here. How do you show proof of funds if you don't have it? If you don't have, is it necessary? Proof of funds. I haven't sent proof of funds in the last like 5-6 years of doing real estate. You know why? Because it's not necessary. Even if you sent proof of funds, the agent could be like, that's whoever's asking for it could be like, I don't think these are legit proof of funds. So it's not so much the proof of funds that you need. It's more like they probably don't believe that you can do what you're saying. That's probably like the issue, right? Because if someone's like, hey, do you want proof of funds? I would be like, I can get you proof of funds from any hard money lender, any private money lender if you want, but is that really why you're asking me? Or is there another reason why you're asking? Like a lot of people ask that because they're not sure if I can really like do what I'm saying I can do. But I can buy this, I can flip it, I can wholesale, whatever you want to say. But to answer your question, you do not need it. That's my answer. I hope that was helpful, but no, you do not need proof of funds. In my opinion, you don't. Again, if they ask for it, they don't trust you. That's usually why they're asking, because they don't think you can get the job done. Agents, sellers, they don't ask you if they're like, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. Now, if you need proof of funds, you can get it from any hard money lender. And there you go. And we got Chris saying, got my follow. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah. Any question you have like that, I'm happy to give that to you. Cause guys, really, like, I'm telling you, like, why do I do this? Number one, I love teaching. It was one of the, like, before I got into real estate, like I would have became a teacher if it paid well, but I got into real estate because it made money. And then I'm like, well, now I can teach people because I know what I'm doing and I can help people out. So that's why I like it. I know I can get deals from helping people as well. That's, you help people do deals, they bring you deals and you can JV, you can flip them together. That's another reason why I do it. So a lot of benefits to showing people how to do this stuff. So if you're wondering why the heck does he love answering questions and give away all this information, it's beneficial all the way around. I help you. I care about you. I want you to succeed and I can get more deals. All right. If I can educate a ton of people on how to do deals, I can do more deals. All right. So appreciate you guys following, liking, subscribing, do whatever you can to help this grow. We will see you on the next one. And join the Facebook group. Like I said, guys, is absolutely free. You get a 90-day action plan. You get a bunch of free stuff in it. And yeah, it'll help you on your journey, especially if you don't know what you're doing. I got to roll, everybody. I got another meeting. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.